Welcome to Edupedia World.
In this module, we will learn about low level of economic development under colonial rule regarding agriculture sector and industrial sector.
Low level of economic development under colonial rule. Before the advent of British rule, Indian economy was characterized with the following features. Prosperous economy. India was an independent, self-reliant and prosperous economy. Agrarian economy. Agriculture was the main source of livelihood for most people and it engaged about two-thirds of the total population and its well-known handicraft industries. India was also known for its handicraft industries in the fields of cotton and silk textiles, metal and precious stoneworks, etc. Handicraft products enjoyed a worldwide market due to its reputation of fine quality of material used and the high standards of craftsmanship. However, during the British rule, the economic policy pursued by the colonial government, that is the British government in India, were concerned more with the protection and promotion of their own economic interest than with the development of the Indian economy. Their policies brought a fundamental change in the structure of Indian economy. They transformed the country into a supplier of raw materials and consumer of finished industrial products from Britain. Here the question arises, what is the meaning of colonialism? Colonialism refers to a system of political and social relations between two countries, of which one is the ruler and the other is its colony. The ruling country not only has political control over the colony, but it also determines the economic policies of the dominated country. In case of India, the unequal relationship between the colony and the ruling country resulted in underdevelopment of India. Now we come to low level of national income and per capita income. The economic condition of a nation can be judged with the data of national income and per capita income. However, no sincere attempt was made by the British government to estimate India's national and per capita income. Some individual attempts were made by experts like Dadabhai Naoroji, William Digby, Finlay Shiras, V.K.R.V. Rao and R.C. Desai. But all these estimates produced conflicting and inconsistent results. However, estimates of Dr. Rao on national and per capita incomes were considered very significant. Most of the studies reveal that countries' growth of aggregate real output during the first half of the 20th century was less than 2% and only 0.5% growth in per capita output per year. Now we will discuss the reasons behind the low level of national income and per capita income. The first is agricultural sector. During the British period, the condition of Indian agriculture was not at all satisfactory. India's economy under the British colonial rule was overwhelmingly rural and agriculture in character. Nearly 85% of the country's population lived mostly in villages and derived livelihood directly or indirectly from agriculture. Even with this large proportion of population engaged in agriculture, the country was not self-sufficient in food and raw materials for industry. Main reasons for stagnation in agriculture sector are as follows. First is land settlement system. The most important reason for stagnation in agriculture sector was the introduction of zamindari system by the colonial government. Under this system, profits accruing out of agricultural sector went to the zamindars in the form of lagan. The main interest of the zamindars was only to collect lagan regardless of the economic condition of the cultivator. The dates for depositing specified sums of lagan to British government were also fixed failing which the zamindars were to lose their rights. The zamindars and the colonial government did nothing to improve the condition of agriculture. Second reason, commercialization of agriculture. Commercialization of agriculture means production of crops for sale in the market rather than for self-consumption. During the British rule, farmers were given higher price for producing cash crops like cotton or jute so that such crops could be used as raw materials for British industries. Thus, British rule promoted shifting of crops from food crops to cash crops. Commercialization of agriculture resulted in famines. During the British rule, agriculture was commercialized to cater to the needs of the British industries for necessary raw materials. The British industries were always in need of raw materials like cotton, jute, groundnuts, sugarcane, etc. to keep their factories running. By offering high prices, the Indian peasants were attracted to production of commercial crops instead of food crops. The extent of commercial agriculture went so far as to make many peasants purchase their food requirements from shops in towns. This falls in production of food crops were responsible for frequent famines in India during the British days. Next reason is low level of productivity. Low levels of technology, lack of irrigational facilities and negligible use of fertilizers resulted in low level of productivity. The cultivators had neither the means nor any incentive to invest in agriculture. The zamindar had no roots in the villages while the British rule spent little on agriculture, technical or mass education. All this made it difficult to introduce modern technology which caused a perpetually low level of productivity. And the last reason is adverse effect of partition. India's agriculture production received a further setback due to country's partition at the time of independence. A sizable portion of the undivided country's highly irrigated and fertile land went to Pakistan, and almost the whole of jute producing area became part of East Pakistan, now Bangladesh. India's jute good industry, which had enjoyed a world monopoly so far, suffered heavily for lack of raw material. So, these are some of the reasons of agriculture sector for the stagnation during the British period. After some of the points of stagnation in agriculture sector, now we come to industrial sector. Although agriculture had dominated the Indian economy during the pre-British period, but some Indian industries producing certain special products enjoyed worldwide reputation. India was particularly well known for its handicraft industries. Like agriculture, India could not develop a sound industrial base under the British rule. The poor state of industrial sector during the British rule is illustrated in the following points. First is deindustrialization. Decline of handicraft industry. British government systematically destroyed Indian handicraft industries and no modern industrial base was allowed to come up. The primary motive of British rule behind the deindustrialization was twofold. First is to get raw materials from India at cheap rates to be used by upcoming modern industries in Britain. And second is to sell finished products of British industries in Indian market at higher prices. The twofold policy of British rule was enforced to ensure the maximum advantage of their home country. Reasons for decline of handicraft industry. The main reason for decline of India's renowned handicraft industry was the introduction of discriminatory tariff policy by the colonial government. This policy allowed free export of raw materials from India and free import of final goods of British industry to India, but heavy duty was imposed on the export of Indian handicrafts. As a result, Indian markets were full of finished goods from Britain which were low priced. It led to the decline of Indian handicrafts both in the domestic market as well as the export market. Next point is adverse effects of decline of handicraft industry. Decline of handicraft industries adversely affected the Indian economy in the following ways. First, high level of unemployment. The decline of Indian handicrafts resulted in unemployment on a mass scale. The displaced artisans were forced to take up agriculture for their livelihood. This increased the burden of population on villages and overcrowding in agriculture. Second is import of finished goods. The Indian-made goods could not withstand the foreign competition of machine-made cheap goods. It encouraged the import of manufactured goods from Britain. Now we come to the third point, that is lack of capital good industries. Capital good industries refers to those industries which can produce machine tools which are in turn used for producing articles for current consumption. During the British rule, there was hardly any capital goods industries to promote further industrialization in India. British rulers did not pay any attention for their promotion as they always wanted Indians to be dependent on Britain for the supply of capital goods and heavy equipment. Fourth point, low contribution to gross domestic product, that is GDP. The growth rate of the new industrial sector and its contribution to the GDP remained very small. Now we come to the last point, that is limited role of public sector. The limited area of operation of the public sector was also a significant reason for drawback of the industrial sector. The public sector remained confined only to the railways, power generation, communications, ports, and some other departmental undertakings. Finally, it can be concluded that India remained backward in the industrial sector during the British rule. Thank you for watching Edupedia World videos.